Cool. So go on to my game of the week. I'm going with the Chiefs at the Vikings, and I've gone with this game. It seems like it's going to be a really fun game to watch, if there's such a thing. It's a weird one because I feel like both teams are better than they've been. But I feel with both of their weaknesses, this matches up pretty well, where it could actually be a ridiculously high-scoring game as well. I touched upon it earlier. There's something clearly not right with the Chiefs. Obviously, losing Bieniemy, it's going to be hard to replace, but they still got Reed. They've still got Mahomes, but it's not clicking. Chris Jones, he's back now, but again, everything seems very disjointed in the Chiefs right now. Hopefully, that will fix itself. And who better to play against if you're trying to get a bit more fluency on offense than the Vikings D? Imagine they're going to give up some yards, as we've seen with the Chargers game. They were throwing on them like it was going out of fashion, and Mahomes will find them spots. He hasn't played great this year, Mahomes. He's averaging just over 250 passing yards a game, which is well below what we all expect from Mahomes. The run game, though, now against the Jets, and actually all year, the run game has performed a lot better than I expected. I think than most people expected, which is partly probably why Mahomes hasn't been throwing for as much as he hasn't had to. Whether they'll continue with that mantra going through the year, you always feel like they're trying to force a run game, but then when it actually comes down to the pressure moments, they'll probably fall back into line and start throwing it 40 times a game again. I look at Cousins. The first 3 games, he didn't have didn't throw below 304 yards a game, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he threw for 139 yards, which screwed up the 284 over I went for that game last week. Not even close, but I thought that was a sure bet. I really, like the Panthers D, they're giving up points left, right, and centre, and as we've gone through every week with the Vikings, protect the damn ball. What is so hard about holding on to the ball, protecting it? What did Cousins have? He had 2 interceptions, 1 fumble, but he recovered the fumble. They're lucky they won that game against the poor Carolina team, because, again, they turned the ball over. If they do that this week, they will get embarrassed, I think. But I don't see them doing it this week. The Vikings have always been a team that you just never know what you're going to get. But when they play the stronger teams, they tend to turn up and they tend to give you a performance that the individual players you would expect to see. I see Cousins, Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, all of these putting up some big numbers at the weekend. Although I am very looking forward to see Jefferson against McDuffie. Now, I watched the the Chiefs Lions in week 1. And after watching the first half, I remember messaging you both. McDuffie looks like he's going to be a player. And he's done a pretty good job in their secondary. Nothing to blow you away yet, but he's going to be a player, and I think Jefferson will have his way. But I'm looking forward to see that matchup. Now, for the Vikings to win this game, they have to play a clean game. None of these turnovers. You had at the end of the game last week, you had Harrison Smith touchdown, I think, or the sack. But the play before that was Hunter, where I think it was a 7-yard sack. That's where everyone forgot that got them into that position to allow for that turnover from Harrison Smith. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come on the D. I think that might be me clutching at straws a little bit, hoping that they're going to be a bit better. But yeah, looking at this game, I see the Chiefs win. I think they will cover the over 52.5. But I see a lot of points being put up. I think it is such a good matchup for the Chiefs, exactly at the right time. So, yeah, I'm going for a close game. I'm not so sure on the spread. I think the spread was 4.5 points. I think the Chiefs might just about cover it, but I see it being a one-score game. But for a Chiefs win, and like I said, I think over 52.5. And so one last thing I wanted to mention, you look at the Vikings, they were 3-0, potentially going 4-0 at one point, the way that game started. Now 3-1, they're thinking, right, the playoffs are still in there. They've still got to play the Bears twice. They've still got to play Green Bay twice. Got to play the Lions twice, which that's going to be a challenging one. But I like them getting 4 wins out. Well, two wins definitely from the Bears. And I think they've got a good chance against Green Bay. So, yeah, it's all still to play for the Vikings from their division. So they've got a big few weeks coming up. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on this game. You guys got anything to add?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that the Chiefs' defense is playing pretty well.
Yeah,
much better than I would have expected, to be honest. But I think a lot of credit will still have to go to Spagnuolo. He's always given them something with lesser talent than maybe others have. I agree, Rob. I mean, I think there's something definitely wrong with this Chiefs offense. Maybe it is the fact that Bieniemy's gone, and they've gone with the gadget play king, Matt Nagy, who I don't love as an OC. Maybe it is Reed still pulling the strings, but you know, at the end of the day, he is the OC, so I'm going to judge him. The run game is very, very violent for the Chiefs. The way that Isaiah Pacheco runs, it's like he's angry that his feet have to touch the ground, so he's just going to stamp on the ground and really take it out on the floor. You know, I love him. Like he brings serious attitude and physicality to them. But this passing game is a problem. But it's the Vikings. Turnover differential -8. Only the Raiders have a worse turnover differential this year. They will stack up the stats. I agree. I think it's going over 52, but they will lose this game. This is an incompetent team still. I need them to prove to me that they can have some level of competency. You know, it just summed it up. Kirk Cousins throwing a 99-yard pick six. 99 yards. What did he throw for? Was it 160, did you say?
139 passing yards.
139. I don't know what the return was on his first interception, if there was one, but he almost netted out to 0 there. So along with all the fumbles that they've had this year, okay, the running backs didn't fumble this week. There's still a lot to clean up. Chiefs win and over.